Healthy soil is the heartbeat of every thriving garden. You know, you can spend hours watering, pruning, or fertilizing, but if your soil isn't alive, your plants will always struggle. And who are the real workers that keep soil alive? Earthworms. Those silent, tireless tillers dig, aerate, and enrich the ground in ways no tool or fertilizer can match. But here's the secret that too many gardeners still overlook. There's an everyday kitchen staple that can actually supercharge your worm population, making your soil richer, looser, and more fertile than ever. Before diving into the rice trick, let's take a moment to appreciate worms. They're more than just squiggly creatures hiding under mulch. Worms are soil engineers. So, worms eat decaying matter and transform it into castings, which are kind of like concentrated nuggets of natural fertilizer. Those castings are loaded with nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, nutrients your plants really crave for healthy growth. A garden alive with worms is honestly a garden set up for success. Plants grow stronger roots, leaves stay greener, and the soil stays balanced with moisture and nutrients. Researchers even estimate that worm activity alone can increase yields by as much as a quarter. But here's the challenge. Worms don't just appear because we want them to. They need food, they need the right environment, and that's where rice steps in. At first glance, rice might seem too simple to matter, but once you understand the natural process happening beneath the soil, it makes perfect sense. Worms thrive on environments packed with microbial activity. They aren't directly eating rice grains the way we do. Instead, rice sparks microbial growth, and it's those microbes that attract and sustain worms. When rice, especially soft cooked rice, is added to the soil, it quickly breaks down into starch and sugars. Microbes feed on this feast, multiplying like crazy. As microbial activity spikes, worms flock to the area to feed. With this steady supply of microbial-rich matter, worms grow bigger, reproduce faster, and leave behind more nutrient-dense castings. How to use rice for maximum worm power. Using rice for worms is simple, but technique really makes the difference between a healthy boost and a smelly mess. There are a few tried and true methods you can put into practice right away. Cooked rice is the fastest way to spark activity. Next time you have plain, unseasoned rice left over, don't toss it out. Just spread a thin layer across your garden bed and cover it lightly with soil or mulch. Covering is important because it prevents pests from being attracted. Within just a few days, you'll start noticing worm clusters in that exact spot. If you want a slower, steady release of food for microbes and worms, uncooked rice works beautifully. Crushing or breaking the grains first helps them decompose more evenly. Mix a handful into your compost or bury it a couple of inches deep in your garden beds. Rice rinse water is another hidden gem. The cloudy water left after washing rice is packed with starch and trace nutrients. Instead of pouring it down the drain, pour it over your garden bed or compost. For gardeners who keep worm bins, rice is a total game changer. Adding small amounts of cooked or soaked rice mixed with shredded cardboard or dry leaves creates a balanced, irresistible feast for worms. But just be cautious. Too much rice in one spot can ferment and create odors. Moderation is key. Think of rice as a supplement to your regular worm food, not a replacement. So what does all this mean for your garden in real visible terms? Well, first, you'll notice worms growing larger and multiplying more quickly. Bigger worms mean more tunneling, better aeration, and richer castings. Second, your soil texture will change. Instead of being dense and heavy, it becomes looser and crumbly, making it easier for roots to expand and absorb nutrients. Third, plants will respond with stronger growth. I'll be honest, I was skeptical myself the first time I tried it. I had always relied on traditional compost, kitchen scraps, and mulch to keep my soil healthy. There are just a few things to keep in mind if you want the best results. Always cover rice with soil, compost, or mulch to prevent pests from finding it. In hot climates, rice decomposes quickly, so use smaller amounts more often. In cooler climates, bury it slightly deeper so it breaks down steadily without freezing at the surface. The beauty of rice is its simplicity. It's affordable, accessible, and almost always sitting in the kitchen. You really don't need fancy products or expensive amendments to grow bigger worms and richer soil. By leaning on rice, you're actually working with nature's own system of microbes and worms to build soil health from the ground up. At the end of the day, gardening isn't just about what we plant above the surface. It's about how we care for the life beneath it. Worms are your partners, your underground gardeners, and rice is one of the easiest ways to keep them thriving. It's not about dumping bags of grain into your beds, it's about small, steady feeding that sparks a microbial party and keeps worms multiplying. So the next time you rinse a pot of rice or scrape leftovers off a plate, don't throw it away. Tuck it into your soil, pour the water into your bed, or add it to your compost pile. Watch as worms respond, your soil transforms, and your plants reward you with lush, healthy growth. Bigger worms, richer soil, healthier gardens, it really is that straightforward. If you enjoyed learning this secret, make sure to subscribe to Crop Corner and share this video with your fellow gardeners. Together, let's keep uncovering the simple tricks that make gardening more natural, more rewarding, and more powerful than ever.